Hello, this video is about melody and how it's notated in the Western music system. If you have not watched the videos called Basic Rhythm Notation 1 and 2, I suggest you watch them first. I'll leave links in the description. Melody is a combination of two or more consecutive sounds with different pitch that have an intrinsic rhythm. The pitch interval difference between each sound may be small or large. Melodies have been a part of music in places around the world where a diverse variety of music systems are used. In some cases, the intervals used are smaller than a half tone, and they may also be larger than 1 octave. But if there are constant leaps larger than an octave, the listeners might separate the high-pitched sounds from the low-pitched ones and perceive them as two melodies rather than one. Given that pitch is a required feature in melody, in the Western music system, the 5-line staff and several symbols are used to notate pitch at several levels. In the first level, the register is indicated by clefs that are used to tell whether the instrument or voice is meant to use a low, medium, or high range of sounds, as well as the line to place a specific pitch to be used as reference for all the other notes in the staff. A bass clef is used for the low range, and it indicates that the note F, tuned at 174.6 Hz in concert pitch, which is below the middle C, is placed on the 4th line from the bottom of the staff. An alto clef is used for the medium range, and it indicates that the middle C, tuned at 261.6 Hz, is placed on the 3rd line from bottom. Then, for the high range, a treble clef is used to indicate that the note G, tuned at 392 Hz, which is over the middle C, is placed on the 2nd line from the bottom of the staff. Let's look at the C major and A minor scales in music notation using different clefs. We can use the music scales as an assortment of sounds available for us to create melodies. As we mentioned in the basic music theory video linked in the description, the major and minor scales have a specific sound structure and a tone/semitone sequence that we can find in these charts. If we move all the notes of a scale up or down to start in a note that is different from C or A but keep the interval structure, we would recognize them as major or minor scales even though they start in different notes. So, in order to keep the interval structure, we need to find the notes that change the pattern and raise or lower them a half step with a sharp or flat symbol, like this. This procedure that modifies the notes of a scale to start at a different point while matching a specific interval structure is called transposition. and the operation can be applied to any scale or melody. This procedure is useful for performers if they want to play a piece that is out of their instrument or voice range. Here are some examples of melody transposition. Now, in the tonal system, if there are no accidentals in a music piece, that means that it's using either the C major or A natural minor scale. In all other cases, the piece would be using a scale with accidentals that can be notated by placing them next to each affected note to the left. And if the main scale has accidentals, they will appear throughout most of the piece or section. Therefore, in that case, it's more convenient to notate all those accidentals only at the beginning of each staff using a key signature. The accidentals in key signatures appear in a sequence of perfect fifths as they do in a circle or spiral of fifths. Every major scale in the tonal system has a relative minor scale and vice versa. In the case of C major, A is the relative minor and both scales have no accidentals in their key signature. All the other scales also share the key signature with their relative minor or relative major. These are the most common key signatures used in the tonal system for instruments with temperate tuning like piano, organ, marimba, or guitar. And this is the way the previous examples are notated using key signatures. Thanks for watching.